Hey roamers, we're in Colorado.
And today we're at Garden of the Gods, checking out all of these weird formations, and we'll show you more from Colorado
On this episode of Roaming with Rosie.
Like many of you, exploring the aptly named Garden of the Gods in Colorado was on our bucket list of places to go. In fact, it's the #1 U.S. park on TripAdvisor. This national natural landmark was given to the city of Colorado Springs in 1909, with the stipulation that it remained free of charge to the public. But more about that later. We had the whole day to explore this breathtaking landscape, so we did some hiking, some learning, and some exploring by car. We were able to park the RV in their oversized vehicle lot, which is also a free parking area. We disconnected the Toad and used it for getting around. There's a shuttle available to transport you to the main points and the visitor center and parking lots. However, it's seasonal and only runs through Labor Day weekend. We were here in late September, so that was not an option for us. We would not recommend trying to take a huge motorhome through the park. If you don't have a separate vehicle to explore, there's a couple of tours you can opt for. A 1909 open-air trolley or the safari tour. The tours are about 40 minutes and cost around $26 per person. There's also tours by Jeep, guided hikes, electric bike tours, Segway tours, and more. There's some links in the video description with more information. Hey guys, so we made it to Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs, and we're doing a little bit of hiking. Unfortunately, the rain came in much earlier than predicted. We'll show you the trail links and what to see along the trail. It's about a 4-mile, easy to moderate trail. As you can hear, we're up in altitude. Higher elevation. This is what I'm looking at right now. Pretty cool. So let's get going. We're starting on the Palmer Trail. We're about 10 minutes in on this 4-mile trail, and it's gone from pouring rain and cold to now we had to strip off our jackets. It's too hot. That's pretty typical of Colorado. If you don't like the weather, wait a minute. So anyway, we're on the Palmer Canyon Trail to start with, and they said its signage is kind of difficult to see, which we've already noticed, but using all trails, I can hold my phone and follow the trail. So that's pretty good. Still, this is the first thing we've seen is this. We're just seeing it from the other side now. See, you hear me huffing and puffing. Starting elevation for this trail, for where the parking lot is, the main parking lot for Garden of the Gods, is 6,600 feet. So Mile High Stadium's at 51 something, I believe. That's a mile. So we're above that. So it's okay, we're just pacing ourselves and taking our time. Hopefully we don't get poured rain on again, or lightning. So there have been a lot of ups and downs, nothing drastic, nothing I have to pull myself up on. The steps are all within a foot high at the most. But just so you know, there is a lot of ups and downs. So there is a driving route, but it's a solid line of cars. And we've passed a handful of people on this trail. But we still hear all the cars. And that's the easier trails down there. This tree's so cool. And it's actually still alive. Look at that. So those are the easier trails down there that just walk right through it. We of course took the harder one. We might regret that if it starts to pour. So basically, starting on the Palmer Trail and going counterclockwise, we avoided a little bit of steepness, but all in all, basically what it did is it took us up above so that we could look down onto all of these things. And now it's going to join with the trails that run through them all. So that's what it looks like to me. It was worth it going up for us to see it, but it's not easy. So we just came from here. We went counterclockwise on the Palmer Trail. The Palmer Trail now continues that direction. But if we wanted to get off and that was enough being up in the heights and up and downs, that goes to the Central Garden Trail where you can walk amongst all of them, and I think it's paved the whole time. But we're going to continue on the Palmer Trail to the Siamese Twins. Right, Dexter? Who won't drink water because he's wearing a halty and he's being rebellious. Ooh, look what's right around this corner. Wow. Now yesterday we were at Red Rock, the amphitheater. There was a lot of this jutting up out of it. This is cool. So this is not the trail right here, but you can see lots of people come up here, get some cool pictures. This is so cool. And there's these hopping off points. You can hop off the trail and cut it if it gets to be too long or too hard. I have to keep referring to my navigation on my All Trails app to make sure that we are staying on the trail. Palmer Trail keeps going that way, and that's the Scottsman loop that goes over there. Keep going on Palmer? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're looking for them Siamese twins. And it's starting to rain. So we jumped off of the Palmer Trail because we're looking at rains already up there on the mountaintop. And we really wanted to get in here and see these from ground level as well. So we're kind of splitting the difference. So right now we're on the Scottsman viewpoint, and there's a picnic area here and you can park. So you can see it's raining out there and coming this way, so that's why we jumped off the Palmer Trail. So that's Pikes Peak. It looks like it's snowing up there. It was all white day before yesterday, so it's about 24 miles from here. It's just wow.
Country lanes and coastal plains, endless views we're passing through, making our way to a distant place, just us two, somewhere new. We watch the sky fade into the night. With you, my arms, nothing can go wrong. We'll fall asleep on a starlit beach, just us two, somewhere new. Somewhere new. Just us two. I'll follow you to somewhere new. Somewhere new.
We didn't want to leave Dexter in the car alone any longer in case the sun came back out and warmed things up, so we decided to follow that line of cars on the Scenic Drive. Let's talk about the more recent history of this area. This land was the home of the Ute indigenous tribe. There was abundant natural resources here which enabled them to provide a good life for their families and still honor their cultural traditions here. But by the 1870s, they were forced from the area by Western expansion and gold explorers and moved to reservations far across the state and even into Utah. During that Western expansion, a group of explorers from Denver came down to check out this area. One of the first suggestions for this was to make it a German beer garden. Seriously. But another surveyor on that same trek thankfully claimed it was fit for the gods to assemble and named it Garden of the Gods. Finally, the land was purchased by the head of the Q Railroad, Charles Eliot Perkins. He never built on it and later added more land with the intention of keeping it in its natural state. He had asked his children upon his death to give it to the city with the agreement that they open it to the public and never charge anyone to see it. They did as he asked in 1909. From the Garden of the Gods Park to Pikes Peak, where it appears to be snowing. It's recommended to stop in the visitor center before going into the park. However, with a rainy forecast, we did it the opposite. The visitor center provides the educational piece to the park, and there's free full-color trail maps there as well if you don't have or don't want to rely on an app. Because admission is free to enter the park, the nonprofit foundation that operates it needs to raise funds for park maintenance and operation of both the park and the visitor center. They do this through offering tours, the restaurant, and the gift shop in the visitor center. The exhibits were exceptional. Most of the galleries are interactive and will create excitement for school-age kids to take what they learn here out to the park. And after a visit here, they'll be wanting to identify all the poop they find on the trails. They have nice restrooms there, as well as water bottle fill stations and even 3 motorized wheelchairs to use to tour the center. And if you're using a bike to get around the park, they even have free bike locks that you can borrow. So behind me here is balanced rock. We almost missed it. It was raining, and so we said we'll go over to the visitor center, and we selected a magnet that had balanced rock. So then we had to come find out where balanced rock was. It's so cool. It's not going to be there forever. At some point, it's going to lose its balance. Jamie's just sitting there. He has no idea or care where I've gone, where I am. He's just enjoying sitting there, smiling, just looking at the rock. No clue that I'm way down here watching him. I don't think though, I guess they're cut too perfectly square. Jamie thinks they put these here to support these rocks. Nature didn't do that. There's a cave back in here. It goes back pretty far. If you could pick one rock that was like nothing else you've ever seen in person, I would pick this one. Campgrounds in this area that have a space for a 40-foot motorhome and a towed either had high prices, no availability, or really bad reviews. We only needed one night. It was sunny enough on this day for our solar panels to fully charge our Lion Energy lithium batteries, and it was cool enough to not need to run our AC all night. This is the perfect situation for free lot docking, and the Bass Pro Shop in Colorado Springs allows this for one night. We called ahead to confirm, as policies are very fluid across the nation. When we arrived, we went into the store to double check, thanked them, and made some purchases. And there were a handful of us out there on this beautiful evening. After 2.5 months on the road, tomorrow we'll be heading back to our home base in New Mexico. To see where we've traveled in the route we took for this trip, check out the playlist links in this video's description. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and the little bell, which will set you up for notifications of new videos. Until next time, see ya!
Hey roamers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Roaming with Rosie. For more information regarding this video, please check out the links in the video description below,
as well as products and equipment we use and recommend. We sometimes do receive a small commission when you use our links for purchases, which is a great way at no additional cost to you to help offset some of our production costs. Thank you so much for watching and sharing our videos and subscribing to Roaming with Rosie. We'd love to hear from you and encourage your comments and questions. Until next time, see ya!